Hi. Hello, I'm Robert Strong. I'm calling from Call Research. We're a national public opinion firm, and we're speaking with people in Texas today, wondering if we could ask you a few questions on a confidential basis.
Make it quick.
So it takes about 13 minutes. Is that okay?
Okay, go ahead. Make it quick.
Am I speaking with Kelly Cannon?
Yes.
And before we begin, I need to know if I reached you on a cell phone, and if so,
Yes.
are you in a place where you can talk safely without endangering yourself or others?
Yes.
Yeah. And thank you. Appreciate your help with this survey. And in which city in Texas do you currently reside?
Arlington?
And are you or is anyone in your household employed by a newspaper, television, or radio
No.
station, a political party, or by candidate for political office?
When I answer no, stop reading and go to the next question.
And before we begin, I'm going to ask you a few questions about yourself just to be sure we have a representative sample. And what year were you born?
I don't think that's really necessary to tell you that.
And would you be more comfortable telling me what
I'm
category you're
57. I'm 57. I'm not to tell you my birthday.
And so would you say your age falls into the 55 to 64 category?
Yes.
And would you say that things in the city of Arlington are going in the right direction, or have they previously gotten off on the wrong track?
It depends on the issue.
If you had to choose which one would you choose?
What do you mean?
Would you say it's in the right direction or the wrong track?
Arlington's going in the right direction or wrong direction? Is that my choice?
Oh, yes. Would you say that things in the city of Arlington are going in the right direction, or are they off on the wrong track?
In some areas, yes. In some areas, no. I can't get more specific, and your question isn't very specific.
And thinking some more about politics in Arlington, do you approve or disapprove of the job the Arlington City Council is doing?
I disapprove.
And would you say you strongly disapprove or just somewhat disapprove?
Strongly.
And thinking about the November elections, if the election for president were being held today, for whom would you vote? Donald Trump and Mike Pence, Republicans, Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine, Democrats, Gary Johnson and Bill Weld, Libertarians, or Jill Stein and Jamu Baraka, Green Party?
Trump.
And would you definitely vote Trump Pence, or just probably vote Trump Pence?
Definitely.
And as you may know, there will be a proposition on the November ballot. I'm going to read you the language of the proposition.
You don't have to read it. I think you have it memorized, and the answer is I will be voting against the proposition.
I apologize. I'm required to read it.
You're required to read the entire ballot language?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry?
Okay, go ahead.
And the election were held today. Would you vote yes in favor or no against the proposition? I will read it slowly because some of the language is technical. Authorizing the city of Arlington to provide for the planning, construction, and financing of the Texas Rangers Complex Development Project and related infrastructure within the city, and to impose a parking tax at a rate not to exceed $3 on each parked motor vehicle parking in the parking facility of the Texas Rangers Complex Development Project, and to impose an emissions tax on each ticket sold as admissions to an event held at the Texas Rangers Complex Development Project at a rate not to exceed 10% of the price of the ticket sold as admission, and as to authorize the use of the existing hotel occupancy tax on the occupancy of a room in a hotel located within the city at a rate not to exceed 2% of the price paid for such rooms as, and if approved, the maximum hotel occupancy tax rate imposed from all sources in the city would be 15%, to authorize the use of the existing sales tax and use tax within the city at a rate of 0.5%, and as to authorize the use of the existing motor vehicle short-term rental tax at a maximum rate of 5% of the gross rental receipts from the short-term rental in the city of a motor vehicle. And would you vote yes in favor or no against the proposition?
No.
And would you definitely vote no against or probably vote no against?
Definitely.
And thinking further on this topic, how interested are you on this project? Please rate your answers from 1 to 10, with 1 meaning that you have no interest in this project, and 10 meaning you're extremely interested. Of course, you can choose any number between 1 and 10.
Define interest.
It says, how interested are you on this project?
I would say a 10. I'm very interested in this project failing.
And now I'd like to read you a more detailed description of the new Texas Rangers ball project. Please tell me whether the description makes you not at all likely, not very likely, somewhat likely, or very likely to vote yes in favor of the project. The Rangers and the city of Arlington would contribute equally for the $1 billion ballpark, and with both paying $500 million. The city's portion is capped at this amount, with any additional costs being paid for by the Rangers. The stadium would be state-of-the-art, air-conditioned ballpark with a retractable roof, comfortable seating, and real grass. There will be no new taxes and no increase in taxes to pay for the ballpark. The Arlington portion of the funding would be paid for by the existing half-cent sales tax, the existing 2% hotel occupancy tax, and the existing 5% car rental tax that were used for the current Rangers ballpark and are currently being used for the Cowboys Stadium. The new stadium would open in 5 years and keep the Rangers in Arlington until at least 2054. And this description make you not at all likely, not very likely, somewhat likely, or very likely to vote yes in favor?
Considering the description you just read is so blatantly false and misleading, there is no way on God's green earth I could ever vote for this proposition. Now, is that one of your survey answers?
I have not at all likely, not very likely, somewhat likely.
Not at all likely at all. If there's a stronger answer in the field, then yes. Try home.
I understand. And what part of the project's description did you find most appealing?
None.
And what part of the description did you find least appealing?
Oh, all of the lies? God, yeah, all of the lies. Absolutely everyone at home.
And now thinking about a different topic, I'd like to read you a list of names of different people, places, and organizations active in Arlington and the Metroplex. For each one, please tell me first whether you've heard of the person, place, or organization. Then, if so, please tell me whether you have a favorable or unfavorable impression of that person, place, or organization. If I name one you don't know too much about, we'll just move on. The first one is Ray Davis,
Owner of the baseball team. Yeah, I kind of know you.
Would you say you have a favorable or unfavorable?
Unfavorable. He's holding the city of Arlington hostage for new taxes.
And the next one is Richard Green.
Oh, yeah. That would be a major unfavorable. Keep
The
going.
next one is, I understand. And the next one is the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
Unfavorable.
And the next one is John Daniels.
I don't know that one. Don't know.
And the next one is the Texas Rangers.
As the baseball team or the owners?
It says the Texas Rangers.
I love the baseball team.
So would you say favorable or unfavorable?
Favorable.
And the next one is the Dallas Morning News.
Unfavorable. Totally.
And the next one is Citizens for a Better Arlington.
Oh, they're the best. They took out the red light cameras last year. They're awesome.
Sorry, would that be favorable or unfavorable?
Very favorable. Very, very favorable.
And the next one is Jeff Williams.
The mayor of Arlington. What can I say? I actually voted for the dude. but he's turned absolutely south on any of the taxpayers in Arlington. So I would say I'm going to say neutral because neutral.
Just no opinion.
No opinion. He's not.
And the next one, I understand. And the next one is Victor Vandergriff.
Victor Vandergriff. These people are like pro ballpark, pro tax and spin, that would be unfavorable.
And how much have you seen, read, or heard about the upcoming election regarding the new ballpark for the Texas Rangers? Have you seen, read, or heard nothing at all? Not much, some, or a lot?
Unfortunately, a lot, because it's freaking everywhere.
And has what you have heard regarding the election about the new ballpark for the Rangers made you more favorable or less favorable to the project? And what was the source of this information?
Oh, you just turn the corner and you freaking see it. I mean, it's everywhere. And it's city council, chamber of commerce, every other yard has a sign. And don't get me started on the damn billboard.
And please tell me what you have seen, read, or heard recently regarding the election about the new ballpark for the Rangers.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
And could you please tell me what you have seen, read, or heard recently regarding the election about the new ballpark for the Rangers?
What have I read or seen or heard? Pretty much all of it.
Anything in specific?
Anything specific? What, like the lies that they're saying to the voters? That this is no new taxes when the very idea of having an election is because there's new taxes? Shall I go on? Or how about the false and misleading advertising of the keep the Rangers when they're going to stay here for another 8 years? They have a contractual obligation and state law requires it. Shall I go on?
Yeah, sorry, I just got to type it all out. I apologize.
Go ahead. I'll wait.
I'm just trying to catch up. I have the last one I had that was saying that there's no new taxes.
No. What we're saying is that the no new taxes slogan is false and misleading in that there are at least 2 new taxes. According to the ballot language you so nicely read to me earlier, when you have the words to impose anywhere in the ballot language, that's called a new tax. I hope.
And what else?
Read back to me what I've said so far.
That the no new taxes slogan is false, and that the language that I so eloquently told you was false.
In the fact that state law requires a new election for new taxes. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the election to begin with.
So you said the state law requires
the election to be held because there are new taxes and they have to ask the voters to tax us on any new tax. If there weren't any new taxes, we wouldn't even be having the elections.
And what else have you seen, read, or heard recently regarding the election?
What else have I seen, read, or heard regarding the election?
Yes.
Pretty much everything. Because you see, I'm with the campaign to save our stadium, because the stadium would get demolished. According to the master agreement, which, by the way, you haven't asked me about.
You said you wrote the campaign to keep the old stadium?
Yeah. And it's not old. It's only 22 years old, built to last 100.
And what else?
And what else? Oh, gosh. Well, let's see. Hold on. There are plenty more reasons. Number one, the Rangers are are you ready to type? Here goes. Number one, the Rangers are contractually bound here for 8 more years, which gives us plenty of time to make a better deal. Dallas couldn't come up with money for the Cowboys. So why would they think that Dallas could ever afford the Rangers to go there? And if there were no new taxes, we wouldn't be voting, which means the city is lying to us. Oh, and Six Flags doesn't ask for tax money to build their new rides. Why do we have to treat the Rangers differently? And 5, they have $100 million invested in Texas Live. They meaning the Rangers. So why would they leave now? This is all false and misleading. Example that? You can repeat it.
It said, number one, that there are contractually bound to stay another 8 years, and number 2, that if there were new taxes, there would be an election.
Whoa. Go back to number 1 and edit that, because it also says, which gives us time to make a better deal.
And then, and if there was new taxes, there wouldn't be elections.
Right.
And then I was trying to keep up. I lost you at that part.
Okay, which means that the city is lying to us, because new taxes require a vote. So the slogan, no new taxes, is false and misleading. And I've got 2 more points.
And what else?
Okay, next point. Six Flags doesn't ask for tax dollars to build their new rides. Why should we be treating the Rangers differently? And that's just one example. Let me know when you're ready for number 5.
So we're only given a certain amount of space, and I've filled it up. So I mean, you can keep going if you'd like, or if we could move on.
Okay, let's move on. I think it's giving you an equal. Go ahead.
And now I'd like to read you a statement about the new Texas Rangers ballpark project. And after I read each statement, please tell me whether that statement makes you more likely or less likely to vote yes in favor of the new Texas Rangers ballpark project, or if it makes no difference to your vote. The first statement is the Texas Rangers have announced the current ballpark will not be torn down. They are currently working with development partners on ways to repurpose the ballpark that will protect much of the outside facade. They are reviewing options that include retail and dining opportunities, office space, and park space. And would that make you more likely, less likely to vote yes, or make no difference?
It makes no difference on my choice of voting no. However, I would like to add a comment. Do you have room for that?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Okay. Well, I can just say that the repurposing the ballpark, any decisions that are made between now and the time of the vote are absolutely useless, because the master agreement says in Article 5 that the Rangers have full discretion on whether or not to demolish the ballpark. And until and unless that changes, any plans for the ballpark are completely nebulous. Continue.
And now I just have the last few questions for statistical purposes only. And what was the last grade you completed in school?
College.
And in politics?
4-year degree.
Understand. And in politics today, do you currently, do you usually think of yourself as a Democrat, a Republican, or something else?
I'm a conservative, Republican, Tea Party.
And would you call yourself strong Republican, not so strong Republican, lean Republican?
Strong, conservative, Republican.
And generally speaking, do you consider yourself to be conservative, moderate, or liberal on most issues?
Conservative on all issues.
And would you say you are very conservative or just somewhat conservative?
Very conservative.
And are you yourself of Hispanic origin or descent, such as Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, or some other Spanish background?
Negative.
And are you African American, Asian, white, or some other?
White.
And do you have any children age 18 or under that you are responsible for raising, living in your home?
Negative.
And are you married, widowed, separated, divorced, or have you never been married?
I'm divorced for like 15 years.
Okay, so those are all the questions we have for you today. We thank you very much for your time and patience. I know it's a long one.
What's your name again?
My name?
Yeah, yours.
Robert Strong.
Okay, and what was the organization you said you were with?
Call Research. We're a national public opinion firm.
Call Research, national public opinion firm. Okay, got it. I just want to make sure I know who I'm talking to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day, man.